Finally,
Did you know that the DNC just passed a resolution last weekend specifically condemning white religious nationalism? Because they did. It's called Resolution 20, and it includes some clauses such as one of many heinous elements of white nationalism is its perversion of religion to make their hateful message seem more palatable. White religious nationalist ideology is advanced by a vocal yet powerful minority and does not represent the values of the majority of Americans, either of faith or secular. Christian clergy and evangelical leaders across the nation have signed on to an open letter noting the perversion of the Christian faith and radicalism. Metropolitan Police Officer Christopher Hodges, who was crushed by the mob attacking the Capitol during the insurrection, noted in a testimony, "It was clear the terrorists perceived themselves to be Christian. I saw the Christian flag directly to my front. Another read, 'Jesus is my savior, Trump is my president.' Another, 'Jesus is king.'" It goes on to say, "Theocracy is incompatible with democracy and religious freedom in a pluralistic society. The United States Constitution was the first governing document to establish a secular democracy with separation of religion and government, and white religious nationalism has used the cover of patriotism to foment and inflame hate by providing cover for racism, anti-Semitism, homophobia, transphobia, xenophobia, and Islamophobia." And my personal favorite, which explains basically everything that these Christian nationalists are doing, they've distorted the legal definition of religious liberty to include discrimination, denial of public accommodation, denial of health care and women's freedoms, defunding the social safety net, defunding public schools, restricting cultural and historical teachings, all while gaining unfettered access to taxpayer dollars their institutions can use to proselytize and discriminate. I love the way that Hemant Mehta shared this in his Substack article. He wrote, "There were undoubtedly Christian nationalists who tried to overthrow the government, and plenty more who act like the Bible ought to supersede the Constitution. They want to rewrite history to pretend the nation's founders cared more about spreading the gospel than creating a lasting democracy. They want to inject that mythology into public schools. What they want goes against religious freedom and the very ideals of this country. But there are also Christians who actively reject all that faith-based hate and the attempts to use their religion to hurt women and LGBTQ people." He shares a quote from fellow religious freedom activist Sarah Levin, who said, "For decades, the white Christian nationalist movement has been operating in plain sight, yet has remained invisible to most Americans, despite the secularist movement's best efforts to sound the alarm, until now." Well, we need people to join this fight more than ever, so follow for more or donate at au.org.